Dear Mom and
Dear
Dad.
Mom and Dad.
Dear Mom and Dad, it may please you to hear that it's official. My college applications have been completed, stamped, and sent in. My application fees have been paid, and my teacher recommendations have all been filled out. Now I can finally breathe, and I want to take a moment to say thank you, and let you know that you can finally exhale too. I still remember my first day at school. It was 14 years ago. Mom, do you remember? The sun was just working its way up from behind the Wasatch Mountains, and so many big kids were walking across the quad to their classes. Your hand enveloped mine as you led me into class. I don't remember crying, but you said I did. I was probably just scared of getting lost among the dozens of other students that surrounded me.
To take these actions every day to win instead of lose.
The first few years were an exploration of bright colors, learning how to take turns, trying out different sports, and most importantly, developing a love of school. The hard brick walls which I had feared were softened by vivid posters, finished projects, and the smiles and kindness of my friends and teachers. It was this last group that taught us about ourselves. They encouraged us to find our own voice, and with their guidance, we never doubted that we had a future. We took it for granted. I remember when my Class 1 teacher asked me for a copy of a story I wrote. She told me I would be important one day, and she wanted my story so she could tell other people that she knew me when I was little. In lower school, we had backpacks half as big as we were. We had to get the red tray at lunch, and we held a deep respect for those in upper school who didn't have to use a tray at lunch and who carried their enormous backpacks with ease.
Now I find myself looking back on my time here with fondness. From the red tray to practicing violin during lunch. From singing songs in kindergarten to playing ultimate frisbee on the lawn. From reading the K in grade 5 to reciting Shakespeare in middle school and suffering through 18th century British poetry in grade 10. From Geo Challenge in grade 4 to the wonders of Homer's Odyssey. From those cold winter days to the joys of spring day each May.
When middle school finally arrived, I experienced a few bumps in the road, to say the least. I was in the bad violin class. There were only 5 of us, and we had 2 things in common. First was an inordinate contempt for chorus. The second was incompetence. While Mrs. Morris's violin class learned how to shift smoothly or roll through a sequence of perfect arpeggios, we learned how to derail the bridge just enough to prematurely end class. While the accomplished musicians mastered melodies, we perfected the art of the airbow. We were more than bad, we were fakes. By 9th grade, you enrolled me in private lessons with Mrs. Morris. As soon as I finished playing my first piece for her, she raised her hands and yelled, "Where's the confidence? Where's the excitement? Where's the forte?" Then there was Mr. Bromley. Like Harold and the Purple Crayon, without picking up his pencil, he traced for us a line from man to the hagfish. He taught us that we are not special because we can look down on other forms of life, but because we can see the connection, A deer looks into our eyes and sees a stranger. We look into the eyes of a deer and see ourselves.
All in all, my middle school grades were decent. I liked my teachers, and I seemed to be adjusting smoothly to my new workload. But as I am sure you remember, my favorite part of school had nothing to do with school. It was all about my friends. We loved shooting hoops at lunch, joining the lacrosse team, chasing the girls after school, texting the girls at night, and hanging out with each other as much as you would allow. Finally, I graduated to upper school. Teachers like Dr. Houston encouraged me to think a little more deeply and brought me to realize that yes, I could read a 300-page book in a week, and I would like it. Mr. Van Arsdale never let me sleep in class, not because he wanted to deprive me, but because he wanted to engage me. All of my teachers have taught me to build upon the foundation that my earlier schooling had so carefully laid. They pushed me to discover my identity and to challenge myself. They taught me it was better to not know, to be a true seeker, rather than one who has found it all and need to look no more. By the way, thanks for encouraging me to try the outdoor program, especially the trip to the Olympic Peninsula last summer. I know I went a bit reluctantly, fearing the long days of hiking without my iPod, but I came back with a fresh appreciation of natural beauty, new friends, and memories to last a lifetime. I discovered a deeper sense of confidence, developed a new set of skills, and learned what it means to be at peace. Even though I've had this rich experience at Waterford, the college search process was stressful. Each deadline managed to jump out at me from nowhere, and there were many times when I read through my transcript or pondered over my resume, and I thought to myself, none of this is good enough. I haven't accomplished anything. I haven't done anything. I am not enough. But applying to college forced me to look back on everything I have accomplished and not accomplished. I think that maybe there was more I could have done. I could have studied harder for who knows how many tests. I could have done every homework assignment. I could have done better. The process of applying to college has given me a sense of accomplishment. I may not have gotten straight A's, but I can confidently say that I learned much. The most important thing that Waterford has taught me is to never settle for being good enough. Waterford has shown me that I have the potential to do anything. It is this hunger for knowledge and accomplishment for which I am most grateful.
I had 2 wishes, and 2 were all I had, and they could both be granted by my mom and dad. I wouldn't ask for money or any store-bought things. The greatest gift I'd ask for are simply roots and wings. Give me roots, give me wings, give me love and give me hope instead of things. Just be there when I need you and tell me it's alright. Just give me roots to grasp and wings.
I know that sometimes I drive you crazy. I know that sometimes it can be difficult to get me to do my homework. But also know, Mom and Dad, that I'm so grateful for everything you've done for me over the years. My upper school experience is now coming to an end, and you've been there for me the entire time. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you for preparing me. Thank you for pushing me. Thank you for everything. I'm ready.